Well, Canada's annual inflation rate fell to 2.8% last month. That's down from 3.2% in May. The latest numbers reflect a number of factors, including the war in the Middle East. CBC's business reporter Angie Seth joins me now for a look at the full picture. Okay, what do these numbers tell us about the Canadian economy right now?
So we're still seeing spending taking place, but as you pointed out, it is lower than what we saw in May, but down by about 0.4%, the largest, in fact, monthly decline since December of 2024. If we look at sort of where we saw things sort of having an impact, gas prices we know did decline in June compared to May by about 10%. However, note that overall they are still up 20% compared to last year. And analysts are saying we're watching things very, very closely. What's happening in the Middle East? What's going to be happening as well with the Strait of Hormuz, as well as the Russia-Ukraine war. We know right now that Ukraine is hitting Russian refineries quite a bit here, so we could see some level of impact here. Already we are seeing where those oil prices are shifting, and we are seeing some of that impact, Arthi, at the gas pumps.
Okay, and what about where that spending is happening? Certainly we know there was host cities in Canada for the FIFA World Cup. It is travel season as well.
Exactly. So before I get to that, though, one of the big things we focused on last month when we looked at CPI was food prices and where things are at right now. And again, food is sort of taking a bit of that headline there. Big ticket items, they did slow for the month of June compared to May. So June around 3.9%. In May, that was around 4.3%. However, we are still seeing a lot of that impact. June being the 17th consecutive month that grocery price inflation, in fact, outpaced most other items with regards to the consumer price index. And we look at what items, fresh or frozen chicken, for example, up 5.7%. We saw an increase of 6% in bread, rolls, and buns, and also an increase in prepared frozen foods. You mentioned travel. Yes, that was what people are traveling, but they also had to pay for it. The cost of accommodations bumped up 10.1% in June. Compare that to just 2.5% in May. And yes, Arthi, the World Cup did play a role in this when we look at accommodations in those host cities in Toronto and in BC. In Ontario, for example, prices were up 19.4% and in BC up 20%. So yes, we are traveling. It's that travel time of the month, but Arthi, it's certainly costing us a little more so to do so, at least when we see the prices here.
No doubt. Thanks for this, Angie. That is CBC's business reporter, Angie Seth.